environment, space could influence to the life of, to the feelings of happiness or something? I
absolutely believe on this, because you know, when you come to the house, these spaces, I'm talking about the spaces as environmental, as you say.
Что значит жить в миниполисе Серебрица? Просыпаться утром под шелест листвы и пение птиц. Работать в столице и отдыхать с семьей на природе. Наслаждаться каждым днем. Миниполис Серебрица. Стоит поселиться.
These spaces can, some places you go, it can make you sad. Some places you go, you are happy. You don't know why. I think this is the reason. When you see, I mean, you know that better. When I walked in Moscow in different buildings, different artistic work, when you go to and see some building, you feel like you can. I had the feeling in Moscow that I can't stay anymore, because it makes me so free, so get in love with that place, you know, that it was, I had to sit, please give me some chair, I had to sit on the floor, because I thought, wow, how strong this is. You see, I didn't read, maybe, I can't speak in Russian, but I understood a lot in that building about Russian culture. I understood a lot about the literature. In childhood years, I was very in love with literature, Russian literature. I read Sholokhov, I read, of course, Dostoevsky's like all, and Tolstoy 3 times, and 4 times, and 5th time to understand it in my language, of course. And so, this is, I was in the building. I don't want to call one buildings, but I saw, wow, this is it. I read in the walls, in this art. Maybe this artist or that architect never read that Sholokhov book, but I saw that picture, and this is that it make it. And how can an architect and how can an artist make something that they give a foreigner who is coming from 8,000 kilometers away, give this feeling? And this is what I try in my projects. It's not about the form. It's maybe some people talk, oh, you make a form, some others, but it's not about the form, that it should be a box. No, I try like when I do that in my 7 years old with my uncle. He told me, you have to push that calligraphy things and push it away. You have to go the freedom, and I try to give it in all this building, this feeling which I had in with 7. How I draw this calligraphy, how I make it free. I bring you in my project. I try to bring the people in my project to close their eyes. They come to the elevator, and suddenly they are in an apartment, and they the eyes going, and this moment that you say, wow, this is what in art, when I draw something, when you walk, for example, in the river in Moscow, and suddenly it's turned, and you say, wow, what a picture. This moment, this is important in my drawing, in my architecture, in my life, in my love.
And explain me, please, connection with calligraphy, architecture and calligraphy.
I mean, calligraphy is a part of art, actually, and I don't say that is the calligraphy, but it's everything in art is close to each other. Is a part of that calligraphy. Is part of the painting. Is part of that moment that I see a beautiful woman in front of me, like you, and I see. I saw you. I remember. I have to tell also the story. In 2012, I thought the first time I met the director of the Museum of Architecture in Moscow, and I saw, wow, this is, I don't know, this moment, you know, I saw you. You came to me and you wanted to start. So, wow, this is the director, because I was in contact with your people, and this moment, this is, it gets you, you know. We find each other in that moment, and this moment was for me to respect it, and I respect it today, and we will respect it in all my life, I think. This is environment, architecture, spaces, art, calligraphy, drawings, painting. It's all about this moment, I think. All about this point. Some people call it God, some people call it love, some people call it, I don't know. I think this is the moment that Mr. Tolstoy find it very fast. Sometimes I see that and it's disappear, but guys like that saw that every day in their life, I think, and then they could write such a amazing works, which is today is like someone is living here and talk about their life, and that's architecture, that's the calligraphy, that's the art. And this moment is for me this emotional, this changing of your feeling. I try to translate it in architecture. Of course, with the beton and glass and such a hard material, it's not easy. But I try to translate it, and the feedback of the people who live in some of buildings, if it's a villa, if it's an apartment, if it's an office building, the feeling that sometimes they call and they say, wow, thank you very much, because I have things, or I have this moment, I'm so happy. They show us some of project now after 15, 17 years. One of my first projects that I did, they showed that in the Austrian TV last week. And it's, you say, okay, in a lot of buildings, in the last 20 years, they built a lot of buildings here. Why they show it again, that one? And this is that you say, thanks, I think you make it the right way. You are in the right things. And that's all about. It's not about calligraphy. I'll come back. It's about this moment, about the love, about the God, or whatever you want to call it.
My friend, an architect, told me this story. Pretty woman, his client, tell him, please make me, design me a house where I will be happy. And he answered, I design you excellent house, but happiness you should bring yourself.
Yeah.
And I think she needs you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Exactly, I think different. I say definitely the art and artists. You go to some museum, you go to some concert. The artist who make piano or whatever it is can make you very sad. He can make you happy in 40 minutes, 45 minutes that you're saying. You cry sometimes. And he bring you, in the end, maybe he make you happy, or no, in sadness he keep it and you go away. This is the same like ours. This is a part of art. This is a part of love. And this is what we can make the spaces. Definitely we can make some spaces that make you unhappy. Of course, the role of our architect is that we believe that we can make the world beautifuler. There is no architect that is say, I make a sad building. All architects try to make something which is positive, we should be optimistic. And we believe on better world, of course, whatever. The worst architect in the world believe on that he make it. No?
We are an architect, and we should be optimistic.
Exactly.
It's part of profession.
Yes, this is it. And therefore, I can never say to the client that happiness is what you have to find. Of course the life is, but I'm sure that you make like a movie. I say always my student, you see these advertisement films are the best films because you have like 30 seconds or 40 seconds, 45 seconds to show all the story about this product. You have to bring a woman comes, push things and jump in the water. Everything is clear in the building, you see that the material, and so this is like our architecture. You have to think who is going to live here, who is going to do some things, and who is going to, in this building, this lady will be fight with his boyfriend, husband, or whoever, with children. They will have a bad time and good time. How can you try to give them some sense when they turn and they are sad in the room? Suddenly you open some things to show her. You have to, of course, watch around the area and make that opening, and they say, wow, it's like this moment which I talked before, to give her this moment. And this is I think which I try to in my project, and then I think I can believe that it gives to the happiness. Last one project I didn't call her, but we can maybe call her and meet her. She told me, she wrote me, she's not living, she didn't buy this building, she rent the apartment. And she heard about us, and she invited me to home. And so she wrote me in WhatsApp, you are the architect of the house which I rent. And you can't believe how happy I am in this building. And I thank you. She's renting, isn't it? And she sent me time to time she buys something, some sculpture, and she put it in the thing, and she make a photo and send me. This is, I think, we never met each other. She never told me what she want. I make for the other client. He rent his apartment, but I give her. I knew that in this building will be two people, maybe with one child, maybe or not. They don't have a child. I thought about this thing, and I thought, which moments can I give this family where they shall eat and drink, where they shall eat and watch TV, and this is what she understood, and she wrote me always. They paid like 3,000 euro for this 100 square meter apartment, 110 square meter in very bad area in Vienna, 10th district. Then I tell the people they can rent in the first district, actually the same, but this is this moment, and this is this which I give without we knew each other, but she find it and she wrote, I will show you the WhatsApp messages that she sent, and this is the happiness. The happiness is that will make me also happy that I'm right. Of course I have mistakes, like everyone, but the mistakes make us stronger, and of course I can do for that lady that you say that, wow, the happiness one, but I'm sure that I can give her some feeling without being there actually, and writing her a book. You have to read this book to live here. No, to just walking and seeing, and this is what I try in my projects.